Hi there, we're doing a series of videos we're calling these Scotland videos. This is a toy car, very cool old toy car. Let's see if there's a date on the bottom. We bought it at a market in France. It says it's a Maserati. I don't know, let's do it over here. Maserati, made in Italy, number 52, Mercury. Now,
is Mercury the name of it? Or?
Yeah, maybe the name of the car. Yeah. And the guy at the open air market said, well, I'm sorry, it doesn't have any wheels, but you can buy new wheels. I'm like, yeah, no thanks. I just want to test it for lead. But the wheels on these things, the reason they come off is because children are often chewing on the wheels, and that's why many of these are missing wheels, is because they were chewy and little kids ate them.
I assume the reason the Mercury is a reference to the god in terms of speed.
Yes.
Not actually Mercury.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time getting paint from a painted area in the scope of the XRF instrument to determine if this is leaded paint or not. One thing to know about the newer Matchbox cars and that sort of thing, they're generally lead-free. Ones from the 70s and 80s can have lead in the plastics or cadmium in the plastics, but the paint on these is often lead-free and even sometimes has a trace amount of gold in them. This is not testing positive. So this is 957,000 parts per million zinc. So it's 95% zinc. It's testing negative for lead and cadmium and mercury. I'm going to do one more test. See if I can, I don't know, like there's a good spot.
You can't get the middle? But
yeah, I can't get the instrument down in the middle. That's another reason that, let's see. So, well, hold on one second. Let's see if we do this. So we're trying to get a good read on the paint, the red paint on this. But actually, it's pretty exciting that this made in Italy car is not testing positive for lead in the paint, even though it looks like it's particularly old. We have some other cars we're going to be testing. So this is, again, part of our Scotland series of videos, since we have Scotland out the window. And in this series of videos, we're going to be doing XRF testing of an object and comparing that to the home test kit testing of that same object, knowing what we have for the metals content of the object. So we've got several items that we're going to be doing follow-up testing on, and this is part one of each one is a three-part. We're going to try this. XRF testing technologies, which is the scientific instrumentation. We're going to use this XRF technology, which is the scientific instrumentation used by the Consumer Product Safety Commission to screen consumer goods for lead and other toxicants in items intended for use by children. And then we're also going to compare those test results to the reactive agent home test kits, both the glowing test that's coming out of the Netherlands right now, and also the home test kits from Skydis, the swabs. And the idea is not to discredit either of those other tests. It's to show that they primarily work on paint, and there might be complications either with enamel or with zinc or other things that might confuse a consumer when those items are used on consumer goods. So we're going to see how well each of these other test kits work on consumer goods. Thanks for being here for the Scotland videos. Learn more at leadsafemama.com. So this is part two in a three-part series for each item we're going to be testing in these Scotland videos. We are in Scotland. And for this test, we're going to be using the Skydis lead check swabs, the reactive agent home test kit. These are designed for testing for lead in paint. We know that this is lead-free. We dipped the swab in vinegar. That's vinegar right there. And we're going to rub this on here. Now, if this turns red, it's going to give a consumer a concern that it has lead. And this is turning red. And we know this is lead-free using XRF technology. Avi, do you know why this is turning red on this car? It's reacting with the zinc. So,
which was in the first video.
Yeah. Yes. So the this car has no lead. It tested negative for lead, and it's testing what one might construe as positive using this home test kit.
And you can see if you slow the very bottom of, you can see the original color of the swab, where it was just that light yellow.
Yeah, it's light yellow once it's been dipped in vinegar, and white when it hasn't been dipped in vinegar. And yeah, it looks a little bit orange versus red, but someone might misconstrue that as positive. This is zinc, and we know it's not positive. This is a negative for lead item, and it looks to a consumer like it might be positive, and that can make panic happen. So we recommend these test kits primarily for use with paint, not for use with consumer goods, as there might be circumstances like this car where it gives you what looks like a positive when it's not a positive because they also react with zinc. And we are also going to test it using the glowing test kit in a moment. So we're using the glowing test kit now to compare to the Skytest kits. And this is a car that did not test positive for lead. It's a zinc Maserati antique Italian toy car. I don't know how old it is. It just looks really old. Maybe it's not that old. So now we're going to spray it with the spray, and we're not seeing any glowing.
And do you want to do the compartment?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Hold on. Not seeing any glowing. The XRF testing came up that there was no lead. The swab testing came up that it might be positive. It came up a bright orange, which is kind of mid-range. And we know there's no lead because the XRF is a definitive. And then this glowing test kit is not reacting. So it seems to be correct in determining that this car is lead-free.